Hi, and welcome to the Drunk Linux User. I'm Len. I am the Drunk Linux User. Hope everybody's doing good today. I have some information to pass along to you, and one of those pieces of information is if you're using a wireless keyboard and mouse, make sure that it's close enough, or at least not as obstructed in usage as mine was. When I had the laptop, the receiver was very, very close to the keyboard and mouse. When I got the new tower, it's trying to transmit and receive through a lot of wood, and it's not working out too good. So I went back to my old Dell keyboard, which I really, really like anyway. It has that clacking sound to it. And I'm using the mouse that came with the computer, and everything is running really, really well. The other thing that I wanted to pass along was, when you are in a Chromium or Chrome-based browser, that when you go to scroll up using your mouse, it's a little bit jumpy. There's a way of being able to take care of that, at least to make it look better than it did before. So let me show you how that's done. I'm using Brave. In a new tab, just type in, for example, for Brave. Okay, if it's Chrome, it's Chrome. A colon, / and then flags. You can see up here at the top of the page where it says search flags. This is where you want to start typing, so type in smooth. The very first item that pops up for me is smooth scrolling. You can see it's set for default. If I want to show you the difference, see it's a little bit jittery. Not bad, but it's a little jittery. I want to make it better. So we're going to go to smooth scrolling, change it from default to enabled, and then relaunch the browser. Here we go. And it actually is a little bit smoother. Noticeable on my end. I don't know how well it's going to come over in OBS, but it's definitely smoother on my side. So that's how you can make a smooth browser or smooth scrolling going on with your browser if it's Chromium based. If it's Firefox, it's something different. We'll look at that another day. Let's see. Remember I was talking about Antergos the other day when I was referring to Endeavour OS as being the successor. I was doing some surfing today on my normal hunts, and I ran across this article, which I thought was really unusual because this is on their front page today. And it's how to install Antergos 2016 in your PC. Well, that's cool. That's cool. I'll leave this link up here just for fun if you want to take a look at it. This is why I got interested in Arch to begin with, is because of Antergos. And this, like I said before, fast. So is Endeavour. Endeavour has really taken Antergos to another level, and kudos to those guys. But if you want to see how this all began, this article will give you an idea. So if you've already had Windows on your machine, and then you decide to put a Linux distribution on, and then you decide, I don't want this thing, there is a way to safely uninstall this. And this article is talking about Ubuntu, but basically what it's doing is it's going into the Windows side to be able to prepare you to be able to get rid of the Linux side without losing your ability to boot into Windows. So I'll put this link up in the description as well. It's very, very nicely put together, and you shouldn't have any difficulties with it. I've actually used this before, almost exactly the same steps, and it has worked very, very well. So the next thing I wanted to pass along, Are we done with data breaches yet? I don't think so. This is by an Android game developer based out of China, and the people that downloaded some of these games from them. Let's see if I can find them real quick. Games data contained 365,630,000 records. Wow. Well. They were able to get a hold of people's IMEI numbers, IP addresses, device information, phone numbers, the OS in use, mobile device event logs, whether or not a handset had been rooted or not, email addresses, purchase records, so on and so forth. Wow. And this is from Esky Fun. Yeah. So I guess they had some of the games were Rainbow Story Fantasy, MMORPG, Metamorph M, and Dynasty Heroes, Legends of Samcock. And I guess all their information is now in the hands of other people. Isn't that fun? Speaking of which, I'm just going to go ahead and jump to this one. Microsoft warns 3,000 companies their Azure cloud database is vulnerable. Everybody had to jump on the cloud. People, I guess, were so enamored with the ability to be able to be anywhere, to be able to do anything. The only problem with it is that we're talking about technology that can be and is being hacked, to put it bluntly. And so some of the companies involved, you'll see Coca-Cola, Skype, which is extraordinarily ironic because Skype is part of Microsoft, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Dipley, Symantec, which, if I'm not mistaken, is an antivirus company or has software that they provide, and Zeiss. So this is not a good thing necessarily. These companies may want to go double check their server logs, make sure that nothing has been breached on their side. Bad news, but if you get a jump on it, maybe it's good news for you. But chip prices are going up, and electronic prices are going to follow shortly after that. So if you're looking to get a new GPU, CPU, MOUSE for your computer, you might want to order that sucker pretty quick. If you're looking to buy a desktop, laptop, pad, tablet, phone, whatever, you might want to start doing that pretty quick now anyway. Things had gotten pretty crazy after the lockdowns and people started working from home. People had to buy equipment to be able to match up with their companies were asking them to provide, or the companies themselves had to purchase equipment to give to their employees. And that drove the demand up and the supply went down incredibly. According to this Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing company, TSMC, I like this. According to the report, TSMC is raising the price to help drive down demand, which is currently out of control. I can sort of understand that, but as you can imagine, probably what's going to happen is those prices are going to stay that way. I don't know how we're ever going to see a glut again. I have no idea what kind of actual increase. They're anticipating a 20% price increase. That can be substantial, and you know that manufacturers of computers, tablets, laptops, and so forth, they're going to pass along that increase to you. And it's not going to just be that 20% increase from the semiconductor to the manufacturer. They're going to pad that a bit too. So 20% could be 25, 30, 35, 40. Do I hear 50? I don't know. But if things really are going to be going this way, you might want to consider, if you can, don't overextend yourself. And if you don't need something, don't get it. I'm going to be honest. The only reason I got this tower is to do these videos. I know that sounds crazy, but it's an investment I made because I want to do these. And I eventually want to be able to do this as my livelihood. So this is an investment I have made towards that endeavor. It wasn't just on a whim. It wasn't just because, Len wants a new toy. No, that's not what happened at all. I'm saying this because there are other things that are going on right now. For example, there are indicators that things may be changing in the world shortly. One of my credit card companies, whose annual percentage rate is really, really high, and I just got it to help, establish some additional credit, went from like almost 23% on an APR to 0.9 for 9 months. That's got to tell you something. They're anticipating some bad times, I think. I think they're looking maybe at, I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist or anything, but we could be looking at lockdowns that could exceed 6 months, maybe into 9 months, and people might might be having difficulties being able to pay their credit card bills off because the interest rates are going to go up. Luckily for me and for my wife, we pay everything off at the same time in the month. So I don't have interest rates. I don't pay any interest fees every month. That's just my good luck. Okay, we got ourselves in a position where we could do this. It's just a friendly piece of advice. Take it for what it's worth, but if you don't need it, don't get it. It's really, really tempting to get the latest, greatest, but it isn't always the best thing to do. So, on that really happy note, let's go over to this site called Pling. Now, I kind of basically talked about this a little bit once before, and in doing so, I was talking about how to be able to theme up your GNOME, your XFCE, KDE. But if you come to the main page for those subsets, you can see a lot of different things, things that they're spotlighting. The newest themes for KDE, for the GTK systems like XFCE and GNOME. Window managers, which aren't really even desktop environments. They're just graphical windows that you can use to communicate through your computer with. They'll look exactly like the other desktops, and you can even make them look like Windows 3.11 if you want to. But this is very, very low resource desktops, window managers. Where you can still make your computer look nice without having it look like something out of like 1995. I'm talking about Windows. You can also take a look at different icons and cursors that you can use, app add-ons, applications, things for your phone, distributions, top listings, artwork. This is almost like DeviantArt for computers, isn't it? Wallpapers, original wallpapers, nice. Music and videos. This also has a very, 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 very small, I think there's probably about 7 or 8 different video blogs on there. But give it time, it may increase. But there's things that you can use for loops and beats and ringtones and things like that. If you're into comic books, they have things for you here. And OpenGit projects. This is a pretty all-inclusive, if you want to play around with your system, website. So we're going to go back over here, and say I hope that all of this was rather interesting to some degree for you, informative, and don't drive drunk, don't drink and drive, don't go to eBay, Amazon, or any other place because you're all buzzed up and you thought this is a really cool thing, I need to have it right now. Wait until you've slept on it or you've at least had a chance to come down and really, really assess that. Okay. Keeping in with my my way late resolution to get back on my my weight loss program, no adult beverages other than coffee here. So bottoms up, later dudes. I really do make some good coffee.